Hello, everybody. It's Saturday, March 29th. We had a partial solar eclipse this morning over most of North America. I was not up to see it, so I don't have any images for you, but signs in the heavens. I also tried a new recipe today that was mushroom, spinach, onions, caramelized onions, and a cream sauce. It was really good. So I will do a video on that. It turned out really good and super e another easy one. And I really, especially in the summer months, I want to stay with fresh foods, but I want to keep it easy for you because I know you're busy. If you're homesteading, if you're growing a garden, if you're just working and raising your family, um, it all takes time. And so you want to eat healthy without it being overwhelming. And I also try and do dishes that, your kids and grandkids can help on because I think it's really important that we pass on the skills we have to the kids in our life. They need to learn how to cook. They need how to learn how to prepare food, to pick food, grow food, so that they are able to survive no matter what comes their way. So, what I'm going to do is just a quick update on news. Um, as I said yesterday, there was a good chance that the earthquake that happened in Myanmar, the 7.7, would go out in waves and that there would be other strong earthquakes. And sure enough, there was one in China, and it caused a rooftop pool to collapse and cause a great deal of damage. So as that wave goes out, it can hit the United States, it can hit Australia, it can hit other countries. So don't be surprised if we get something in, the 4.5 to 6.5 range hitting the West Coast or Australia or other parts of the world as it goes out from Myanmar. And that's not to say that there won't be more um, earthquakes that aren't related to that are independent of themselves. And so, and that solar eclipse, anytime something is going on in the heavens that is above and beyond the norm, and it potentially creates energy fluctuations. And I have not seen the solar weather on that, but it would not surprise me if it does. We have this huge storm coming into the Midwest and East Coast tomorrow. I mean, it impacts something like 10 million people at least. It's a biggie that usually is supercharged by things going on in the heavens. And we're going to continue to see these. It's part of prophecy. There will be, signs in the heavens. There's going to be earthquakes in diverse places. There's going to be volcanoes. There's going to be all of this. And all of that is energy that's expelling, right? The earth is in travail, right? Travail is in labor, like when, a woman is in travail with a baby. And any woman or man that's been around a woman that's having a baby knows that it starts out light, like Braxton Hicks, and then as the time gets near, those contractions get stronger and stronger and more rhythmic and closer together and harder in intensity. And that's what we're going to start seeing. And then you add that man wants to mess with the weather, and that is absolutely real. I don't care what anybody says. You can just do a quick Google and look at private weather manipulation or cloud seeding companies, and you're going to find that they're all over the place. And then you add the militaries that are doing it. Check out Dane Wigington at geoengineering.com. He does a weekly summary of what's going on, and he's tested rainwater. He knows what he's talking about. He's talked with experts, around the world on this. It isn't just conjecture, it's real and it's happening. And when I think that falls under God turning us over to our own perdition, right? People like Bill Gates and others that think that they can control the world and control food and control the weather. They think they're God. They're not going to die. Yeah, God's turning them over, and we get to be guinea pigs of it. He will protect his own, but that doesn't mean that other bad won't happen. And I think a big part of the millennial kingdom will be cleaning up the mess. And so anyways, let's get back to the news. So as predicted, there was another earthquake in China. this was interesting. World Health Organization just in, who has proposed slashing a fifth of its budget following the U.S. decision to withdraw. So much. Re okay, so I'm going to do something here. Hang on. So that's quite interesting. So, oh boy. Okay. So, we withdrew from the World Health Organization. I think we should. When I first went to school, they were considered the experts. And after the COVID, I lost absolutely total regards for them. I think that respect. And then when you look at Tedros and his background and how many people in his own country he killed and what a strong communist he is, I don't want anything to do with with the WHO. They are not doing good. Um, Now there's nine B-2 bombers in Diego Garcia. Yike. Okay, so two more. That's more than half our fleet. Um, it's saying 25%, but I could have swore that there was like 16 or 18 of them, and so at nine we're at half at least. Again, Iran is on notice for to dismantle your nuclear program or the US will attack. And here's the thing with that is that past presidents have said, here's a red line, don't cross it, and they cross and nothing happens. That's not going to happen with this administration. They will react. So they have till May 1st, I believe. So talk about a countdown. And then Iran's military magazine says if Iran is deprived of its rights, it will make the decision to close the Strait of Hormuz. So I can just see then that's when I think those B-2 bombers will come in and just knock out the Houthis and most of Yemen and also attack Iran. So that could be interesting. So then on the whole thing going on with the Signal app, and that app was designed by the CIA and was put on all government phones for free. And so the likelihood of it being a spying app by our CIA or even other countries is very high. So I don't trust it at all. Um, so there's a lot of disinformation out there. That is absolutely true. Hexas, Walt, Bondi, and now RFK, not to mention the attacks on Elon Musk. Absolutely, they're going after these people left and right. And they seem to be particularly concerned about Hegseth, and he was not even involved in that breach. I can see Waltz being let go. He did not show discernment in who he put second in charge. I don't trust that guy. He has too many ties. His wife was one of the J6 prosecutors. He has ties to China. I think he's got ties to Obama and Biden. He needs to be let go. There's other candidates out there. We don't need to hold on to these people. There is allegedly a secret tape that shows Lee Harvey Oswald near JFK's limo during before he was killed. So that takes him out as a shooter. NBC supposedly has this, so I don't know what will come of that. Um, that's old news. Let me see. There's something. Oh, Zelensky. He now says that the U.S. mineral deal draft is entirely different and he will not have anything to do with it. And it threatens Ukraine's path to the EU. He is still getting our tax dollars to play king while Americans starve. That needs to stop immediately. He's not defending freedom. He's protecting his mineral empire. He refuses to meet with Putin directly. And basically, he's just giving our country the middle finger. And I think we just need to like totally delete any funds to him and let him just go it alone. That's just the way I see that. So anyways, that's kind of the news in a nutshell. Um, I expect there to be some major action in the Middle East this weekend. We have that storm, like I said, coming in, and so we just need to be on our toes, be ready. If you're in the center of that, or even on the outskirts, just be ready. Have water, have food, be ready for your power to be knocked out. The Northeast is looking at an ice storm with up to an inch of ice. And if that full inch lands in one place, that can just be, disastrous. That can be weeks, if not months, without electricity. Because if you've ever lived through an ice storm, it is crazy. Everything freezes shut. I made a mistake the first year. I didn't have, that I was in Kentucky, I didn't have a garage area cleared out. And so my truck was out and it froze like an ice cube. I couldn't open the doors. I couldn't use the truck if I wanted to. It was just, yeah, you couldn't open anything. I mean, it just freezes everything. It just encases, even every blade of grass was encased in ice. I've never experienced anything like it. So, prayers for the Northeast on that one. Oh, I saw that Maine's um, governor is in cahoots with her brother over stealing millions from the people of Maine through shell companies. And then Washington State just is adding a 38% increase to their fishing licenses. And, they also are increasing all sorts of taxes. And basically, in every way, shape, or form, they are after people's money. They have one of the highest gas taxes. They have one of the highest business taxes. Their property taxes have just skyrocketed in the last 5 to 10 years. So it is the same from the World Economic Forum of you will own nothing and be happy is coming to be. And I think we are seeing the black horse working, okay, and the white horse is out as well, and the red horse. I think and the green horse. I don't think they may have come out independently, but I think they ride together. And the white horse has a bow without arrows, so it's taking peace from the world through non-combative ways, which would be the World Economic Forum, which would be WHO, which would be some of these treaties and pacts and stealing like the Doge is finding. Those are all ways of creating war without military battles. And then the red horse is war, and we're seeing that all over the place. The green horse is a chloroform color, a pale green, like when you think of, ooh, you're green sick. And we've had many, many pestilences, not just COVID. That was the largest on a global scale. But if you look at Africa, they're happening all the time. If you look at, again, I think, man plays into it. We have the bird flu still happening. We have other, HIV is still an issue. There's Marsboro. There's all sorts of different um, agents that are around the world. And then we have, the GMO modified mosquitoes and all of that I put under pestilences, okay? And then the black horse is about famine, but it's also about economic distress, where, a loaf of bread is going to cost a day's wages. So you're having um, not just famine, but you're having depression, like, you think of the Great Depression. People had to stand in line for bread lines. They didn't have any money. They were selling everything. A wheelbarrow full of cash had no value. And I think that again is something that's on the horizon. We're moving towards it as taxes go up, as fees go up, as everything goes up. And when we look at the fighting against Trump and his administration to reverse that, it's so insane that it has to be on a spiritual level. Why would anybody want to keep, for example, MS-13 and Trenday I have a hard time with that word, TDS here, or TDA here in the United States? They're killing people, they're raping people, they're just, taking over. They're just violent people that don't suit, a good place to live. They're selling drugs. It's just nothing about their way of life fits into ours. They came here illegally. They're doing illegal crimes. The guns that everybody's so worried about, they have, and they're using them against innocent American people. We need to stop this. And they're taking advantage of the other immigrants that came with them. A lot of human trafficking, a lot of prostitution. Again, the fentanyl and the other drugs. None of it is good. And to send these people out of this country was the right thing to do. They broke a law, they need to go, and they need to go to prison. And so the fact that we have judges and we have liberals thinking, well, no, 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 you can't do that. These poor men have made their choices, right? If you or I did that, we would get thrown in jail. In fact, the Biden administration threw um, elderly people that were praying or singing in jail. They weren't hurt. They didn't have guns. They weren't physically capable of hurting anybody, yet they were thrown in jail for several years, if not more. And it's not about the administration. I just say that because of a timing thing. It really is a spiritual war. And I think that there is a demonic element to some of these people. They have made pacts with the devil, and you see it in Hollywood a lot. You see it in politicians a lot. When you look at someone, I want to say it was Cory Booker, but hang on a second. Um, that came into Congress at 40,000 in debt and is now worth several million, you got to wonder. Okay, no, Hakeem Jeffries was 40,000 in debt when he came into Congress. In 6 years, he's worth $36 million. So he's making $6 million a year on $150,000 salary. I'd like to know how he did that. And he certainly isn't for you and I as the general population. So we need to shut this down because people like that shouldn't be in politics. I know that it's common, but he's there to represent the people, and he's not representing the people. He's representing Hakeem Jeffries, and he'll do anything he has to do that. If you look at the recent, I think it was on the was it on Boys and Girls Sport, the breakdown of the people that voted. I was shocked to see that Fetterman voted along party lines in it. I thought he had kind of come around. Let's see. So more than 1,600 people have been killed in that quake in Myanmar. That's a lot. US aid is going bye-bye, or USAID. They're only going to keep a couple people. Planned Parenthood has admitted to distributing sexually explicit coloring books to children at a science fair. So pay attention to what your kids are getting. There may be all sorts of things. I think y'all have probably heard that King Charles is hospitalized. The Pope is out of the hospital, but now he's hospitalized. This is disturbing. Los Angeles has the highest number of missing children in the US, specifically South Central and Hollywood as a runner up. So, and they rarely find these kids. You know why? Because they're tortured, raped, and killed. And so when we're cracking down on all of these illegal aliens and when we're cracking down on crime, we're also cracking down on their access to these kids. And the occult thinks that these kids have their organs and their bloods and stuff give them longevity, that it reverses aging. They have some really bizarre, crazy stuff. They think we're crazy with our religion, which is not a religion, it's a relationship, and it has been proven over thousands of years to be beneficial, and yet they're doing crazy stuff like that. And I'm not crazy on this. There's proof on it if you really go and do a deep dive. So anyways, I don't want to end on something so ugly. I'm gonna find something else to end on. There's got to be something good. Let's see. There's got to be something good. Hang on. Okay, Utah is the first state in the US to ban LGBTQ and pride flags in their government buildings and school. We'll end on that. Oh, and the U.S. Embassy in Syria warns Americans to leave over potential imminent attacks. So remember, Isaiah 17 says that Damascus will be a heap, a ruinous heap, and it'll happen overnight. So don't be surprised. I told you something's bound to happen this weekend. And as we get closer to Passover and Resurrection Sunday, the more likelihood that we're going to have big attacks. That's just how it works. And I think we have a lot to happen, the Psalm 83 war, Isaiah 17, and several other things before the rapture. So to see it on high holidays is very likely, and I'm still thinking that this fall is a really good time for the rapture. I don't know that it could happen, before I'm off air, but um, what does that mean? Walk in as righteous way as you can. You can't earn your righteousness. You don't earn your salvation. It's a gift from the Lord, okay? Not by works, so no man can boast. However, we do get crowns and rewards for what we do while we're after we're saved. And that is, salvation is a gift from the Lord through faith, okay? But once we're saved, then we're supposed to walk it out, right? Works or faith without works is dead. So you have faith, so therefore you want to please, right? You want to say thank you. If your parents are really good to you, you want to honor them and do good things for them. Well, God is more than good to us, so we want to honor him and do good things for him. That's what it's about. Okay, it's a reverence for God. You know, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Okay. And through wisdom and knowledge, we should want to do good things for other people. So go to the Lord and ask him what he wants you to do. It's going to be different than what he wants me to do. We're all parts of a body, but none of us are the same. And the nose can't be the eye, and the eye can't be the ear, and the hand can't be the eyes. And, the eye says, well, I want to wear a ring. Well, where are you going to put it? So we need to just be satisfied and trust that God put us in the best part of the body that He can. Many parts of the body are hidden. I kind of joke that I'm a little pituitary gland, right smack in the middle of the head where you can't see it, but really important. If the pituitary gland isn't working, your hormones are all messed up and everything else is bad. So, I don't know that. It's a joke, okay? But anyways, just just do what He asks you to do without complaining, without grumbling. Maybe he wants you to tithe. Maybe he wants you to volunteer at church. Maybe he wants you to have a community garden. Maybe he wants you to go serve, meals at a food line. Maybe he wants you to just be a prayer warrior. Whatever God asks you to do it in faith and do it with a cheerful heart, right? With a smile on your face and a song in your heart. You can do it. And so, anyways, I love you. Like, share, subscribe. I'll be back on probably later this week to show you that recipe. Really good one. And it was great with steak. Make sure you're eating well. Set a window. Don't eat past, like I wouldn't eat past 6 o'clock, to be honest with you, with what I'm seeing on my blood sugars. And lots of protein, lots of fiber, and good healthy fats. Try and stay away from the sugar. If you're going to have something sweet, eat it after you eat those things so that the sugar is not going straight into the bloodstream and causing big spikes, because that causes inflammation, and inflammation causes disease, and disease kills you. Okay. And so I think that's about it. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Be safe in the storm coming up. I'll see you later or tomorrow, God willing. Um, Please remember to subscribe, like the video, and have a very, very blessed day. Bye bye.